Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com coming to you with my Thursday three-pack video here. My three favorite plays for January 24th. Very light card out there in the sports betting world. No NHL with the All-Star break. 4 NBA games, one of them posting late here this morning, and then a bunch of college basketball. All three plays for the Thursday three-pack today coming from the college basketball side of things, including the marquee Big Ten matchup between Michigan State and Iowa. Over at BangTheBook.com, phenomenal work being done by our cast of writers. We've got daily NBA and college basketball picks and previews. We've got Kyle Hunter's daily college basketball picks piece. Obviously, Parker Michael's on hiatus here for a few days with the All-Star break, but he may look at some division stuff, some future stuff, things of that sort, so keep an eye out for that over there. We'll have wall-to-wall comprehensive coverage for Super Bowl 53, game props, player props for each team, entertainment and novelty props, best bets, betting trends, all sorts of different things for the Super Bowl. So keep it tuned to BangTheBook.com and check that out. The Thursday edition of Bang the Book Radio featured Brad Powers and Tony George. We talked about Super Bowl 53, some college basketball, and some NBA on today's edition of the show. So check out the segments right here on our Bang the Book YouTube page once those get posted. And then, of course, you can find us on Spreaker, Stitcher, Spotify, iTunes, iHeartRadio. You name it, you can find Bang the Book Radio there. All right, let's get into the Thursday three-pack here. As I said, all three games coming from the college basketball card. We'll start in the Big Ten, game 6-17, 6-18. That is the big showdown tonight between Michigan State and Iowa. Michigan State, 4.5-point favorite here. Total 156.5. And these two teams already played once this year. The Big Ten playing a couple of early conference games. Michigan State and Iowa played back in the month of December. In fact, on December 3rd, Michigan State 90-68 winner in that game. 1.329 points per possession for Michigan State in the first meeting. Their third highest mark of the season. They only eclipsed that against Tennessee Tech and Oakland. Was the first true road game of the year for Iowa, so obviously a little bit of a tough one going up there to East Lansing. But that game was played to 68 possessions. And Iowa, the second fastest tempoed team in the Big Ten. Michigan State was playing at a very fast tempo earlier on in the year. They have slowed things down considerably. The thing for Michigan State is that they're very efficient on both ends of the floor. That's the key difference to me in this game because Iowa, not a very efficient team on the defensive end. They are a solid offensive team, but everything that they do offensively, Michigan State does better, except for a couple of little things here and there. But the big difference, again, Sparty, 8th nationally in adjusted defensive efficiency, 4th in effective field goal percentage defense. They're a very veteran team, so the home court shouldn't bother them at all. They lead the nation in 2-point percentage defense. Iowa, 233rd in 2-point percentage defense. And you say, okay, maybe the 3 is the great equalizer. Maybe it could be. If Iowa lights it up from distance, then they have a chance to cover this game and quite possibly win it outright. But Michigan State, a more efficient team shooting the 3 ball this year as well. So usually the better team dictates the tempo. I think that's Michigan State. They've only played one Big Ten game so far of 70 possessions or higher. That was against Northwestern. I would expect them to control the tempo tonight. As I mentioned, they are a more veteran team. Izzo's a better coach than McCaffrey. I think this is a spot where even though the sharp segments of the market are on Iowa, this line has moved down from 5.5 to 4.5, even got as low as 3.5 at one of the sharper books out there. It's come back up now. Even though Iowa's the sharp side, I'll be a little bit square. I'll be a little bit Joe Public here tonight and take Michigan State minus the 4.5. If you can find a 4, obviously you want to do that. Anytime you're talking about games, in this fouling type of range, every half point could be really significant for you. So, like Michigan State tonight, minus the 4.5. Do have a slight lean to the under 156.5 here, but I like the side a little bit more than the total for this massive Big Ten game here tonight. And I get it. I understand why sharp players are looking to go against Michigan State. Obviously the first game, a statistical outlier with such a great points per possession mark for Sparty. But again, I just think that they're the better team overall, offensively and defensively, and that's enough for me to cut into that home court advantage. So Michigan State minus 4.5. Game 6-17 by rotation order, the first play today in our Thursday three-pack. These do go by rotation order, so these aren't my favorite 3 plays in order. I'm just going down the card by rotation order as I select these matchups. Next on the board, we go out to the Colonial Athletic Association, game 619-620, just one spot down on the board there. Elon on the road to take on Charleston. Charleston, 14-point favorite. Total here, 143.5. Elon, look, they're 11th in the country in percentage of field goals from three-point land. The problem is they don't make a whole lot of them. They're 33.4% from distance. So they take a lot of threes, but they don't make a high percentage of their threes. They don't get offensive rebounds. They don't get to the free throw line. Charleston here on the season allowing just 31.8% from three-point land. That's 70th in the country. And when you look at Elon, in their 9 games away from home, whether those were road games or neutral site games, they are 307th in the country in adjusted offensive efficiency according to Bart Torvik. 32.2% from 3, so down 1.2% from the season overall. I think this is a game played at Charleston's tempo. They are the better team. They are a little bit of an underachiever here as well, largely because they're having problems defending the interior. They just aren't really doing a whole lot when it comes to defending shots at the rim or that mid-range type of game. Not really the game for Elon, though. They want to shoot a lot of threes, want to take a lot of long jumpers. Charleston has done well defending that. As I mentioned, 70th in the country. So, game played at Charleston's tempo. Charleston doesn't defend well on the inside, but will Elon make that adjustment? Will they go inside in this game? I don't really think that that's the case. Charleston doesn't turn the ball over. They get to the rim a lot. They're 17th in 2-point percentage scoring, which is why this line is as big as it is. But to get to the rim, to open up those lanes to the bucket, takes a little bit of time. That's why, in terms of their tempo, they're 280th. So, they don't shoot a whole lot of threes. They get to the basket. They take long possessions in the half court. Tempo has been slower for both of these teams in conference play. So I'm going to take under 143.5. Game 619-620. Elon taking on Charleston. One more game here for the Thursday 3-pack. Game 635-636. Western Kentucky. 1.5-point road favorite. Total of 135. Down in Hattiesburg to take on Southern Miss. Look, Western Kentucky was supposed to be better. They are an underachiever this season. Now, according to Bart Torvik, they did play the 31st strongest non-conference schedule, 43rd according to Ken Pom, and their 68th ranked schedule overall according to Ken Pom. So the Hilltoppers have played some pretty good teams here. Southern Miss 102nd in strength of schedule. But there are a few big advantages for Western Kentucky in this game. For one thing, they are a significantly better team on the glass. Huge rebounding advantage. They're 3rd in offensive rebounding percentage in Conference USA play. Southern Miss is 10th. Western Kentucky, 135th overall in the country in offensive rebounding percentage. They're 120th in offensive rebounding percentage on defense. So, a little bit better than national average. Southern Miss, on the other hand, 342nd in offensive rebounding percentage, 223rd defensively in preventing offensive rebounding percentage. They're 11th in Conference USA in that regard. So Western Kentucky with a big edge on the glass, extra possessions, not giving Southern Miss extra possessions. Also, too, here for Western Kentucky, in conference play so far, they are 2nd in adjusted defensive efficiency, according to Bart Torvik, whereas Southern Miss, in terms of Conference USA play, is 11th. Big free throw advantage for Western Kentucky as well. So, in a game projected to be close, they're a better rebounding team, and they're much better at the free throw line. Those are two things that I like to look at when you talk about games with very low lines here, lines of a possession or two. That's what we've got in this game. Western Kentucky -1.5 in Hattiesburg over Southern Miss. So the 3 plays for the Thursday 3-pack here today. Michigan State over Iowa -4.5. Elon Charleston under 143.5. And then Western Kentucky -1.5. I'm Adam Burke from BangTheBook.com.